Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about the GW contrast paints. It was the main event, let's say, at Warhammer Fest. There was a lot of talk about these. I've seen pictures. I personally haven't tried them for myself yet, but I've seen good things and I've also seen people mention some bad things as well. So let's jump in and let's have a little chat. I would just like to thank a chap called Garro. I'm sure a lot of people know Garro by now. He's on Facebook. He supplied me with all these pictures. He took them at the event. I kindly asked him could I use them since he got the best pictures, and he said yeah, sure, use them. So please, if you can, go and thank Garro. Go and check out his Facebook page. The link is in the description of the video. Thanks once again, Garro, for lending me your pictures, brother. So just to go over what a contrast paint is, what GW is saying is that these paints are basically here to get your armies ready in no time. So if you've got like horde armies of like orcs, tyranids, you know, some of the probably the horde armies in AOS like undead and stuff like that, then these paints are there for you to really get your armies on the tabletop as fast as possible, because you just put this one layer of paint on and it dries in a certain way which gives your model contrast, so it fills in like all the lines, doing like, instead of like actually doing lines on your model, like let's take for example like a space marine shoulder pauldron, instead of going around like all the line areas and stuff like that to like really make it stand out and give it contrast, this paint dries to give it that contrast. You can actually see now in the background with some of the yellow ones how they've dried and stuff like that to give that model some of the contrast. Now, in reference to the image in the background of this, one of the complaints I've seen of people is that you really have to watch how it dries because it can pool. Now, we can actually see some examples of the pooling on some of these images. If you see like, you know, like some of the leg bits, it's like it's a bit more orange than it is yellow. I think that is down to the pooling. Maybe you can, you know, sort that out by going over it with like another yellow or something like that to get rid of that pooling. Maybe if you just control it, you know, like just like you do with washes. It's one of these things when you wash a model is that you really have to be careful on where it's pooling, how it's pooling and stuff like that. Just go around it with like some tissue and stuff, some, you know, just anything just to dab it, just to stop that pooling. But that for me is one of the things I probably am concerned about the most, is that I don't want it to be like, for example, the guy on the far left whose leg is looking more orange at the top than it is yellow. That is something that I would like to avoid. But all in all, looking at it and looking at all, you know, all the different kinds of yellow they've done on there, the way like all the lining is and how it's dried with the lining, I think that's fantastic, because that is one of the most time consuming, one of the most stressful things you can do on a model. Because I'm doing it right now on my Imperial Fist, and sometimes I just want to pull my hair out, because it's like you make one little mistake and it can ruin like an entire model. So I really do like how you can dry and it gives that like kind of lining effect, because it will save so much time. Here's another example on it, on some reds, and on the far left is some oranges and stuff like that. Again, you can see how it's dried in like all the cracks. You can see a little bit of the pooling on the far left guy's power pack on the back as well. So again, going back to what I just said, you have to really watch how it pools. But again, the colours and the variants and the way it's all drying seems bang on, spot on, perfect to me. And I've been told, like from people at the event, you can actually blend these contrast paints as well. It's not like you put one contrast paint down and that's it. You can actually blend these together and make some really cool combinations. I'll actually show off some of like the superior products at the end of the video and just go over them and stuff like that. Now, one of the most exciting things about this product for me is that I think it's going to open the doors for chapters that I was too scared to do before. I think the biggest concern on my mind really now thinking about it is it too good to be true? Like, I'm seeing these in the cabinet now. I'm seeing these pictures that Garro took and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, it just seems too good to be true. This is why I actually want to get my hands on them and just sit down and use them for myself to see if I can actually get these results. Is this like GW doing like their pro painters doing this thing, or is it basically just a guy who sat down and just gone over the model for 10 minutes and let it dry and stuff like that? That is my main concern at the moment. A lot of people from the event who've actually sat down and played around with it, they're saying no, it really is this simple. But for me as a person, I personally need to try it before I am completely sold on it. But stuff like this, where you're looking at the whites, it really gets me excited, because there's nothing more than I would like to do is maybe some like white scars, some excoriators from my Last World Protocol force. Really get that down, because whites and like blacks and stuff like that, those are the colours that really make me scared when it comes to painting 40k models. I think it's nice that they covered all the bases as well, like you have all the colours. I think this is a major release for GW. A lot of people at the Warhammer Fest were like, I was a bit let down, there wasn't anything major reveals, but I think this was their major reveal. I know, of course, we all wanted to probably see Primarchs and all that glorious stuff, but from a product level, this is like really big from them. As you can see, like the blues and the greens and stuff, they all look fantastic. Again, they all look very nice. I love the lining, how it works. I definitely think this product is aimed at a certain market. I think it's aimed at the more type of beginners. I'm not saying that you can't get really good results for the more advanced painters and the medium painters. Like I'd probably call myself a mid-level painter. It doesn't mean that it's not aimed at me, but I normally look at a product like this and think it's probably for those people who just have so much grey, or just like grey models in their collection. It's for the people who are just starting to get into painting, and it's a really super simple, easy way for them to just go, hey, I'll put one coat on, and look, I have this awesome colour. I don't have to do any lines and stuff like that. There's no stress, and then I can gradually ease myself into it, and then do a bit more and advance myself a bit more. So I definitely think they've aimed it at that type of beginner audience, and it's great. It is really great, because there's nothing more I don't really want to use the word disappointing than you painting your army for ages and ages, getting it all awesome, put it out on the table, and then your opponent just turns up with just like grey fresh off the sprue force. It's like, oh brother, why did you do this? Look at the time and effort I put into mine. So it's nice now that you can just basically get your armies up and running in no time, and still have them look tabletop standard, which is what anyone wants when you come to battle someone. Now, these images you see now are some of the contrast paints, which have had a bit more given to them. They're not just like dunked in contrast paint. They've added a bit more. Like the thing you see now in the background, this blue demon thing, I forgot the name, escapes me at the moment, I'm sorry. This is apparently this is one contrast paint, the blue contrast paint, and of course they've done contrast paints on the tongue and on the teeth and the stuff like that, with one highlight. That's all it is. One highlight, which is incredible when you come to think about it, because if I was to see this on the shelf, I would think that's like more or less a pro painted model. That's personally my opinion on that. I look at that as a pro-painted model. I don't know if other people will look at that and go, oh, that's tabletop standard, but that for me is pro-painted. So if you can get the kind of results like this from contrast with some highlights on it, then boy oh boy, this thing could really be a game changer. And these are from the GW display cabinet. Like, these are some trolls, again, all painted with contrast paints. And you can see like the blues, there's some of the, is it browns, and some of the toenail colours, whatever they are, the squigs in the background and all that kind of stuff. Everything here is contrast paints, which again, they look fantastic. They do look fantastic. I don't really see any of the pooling around there, so that, again, this is the GW painters, so they probably handled that stuff. So if you can take control of the pooling effects and stuff like that, this is the kind of results you got to be getting. And again, I'll say it again, it is a massive game changer if you can get these type of results. I'm completely not sold on it. I'll be truthful. I'm not sold on it just because I think it's witchcraft. How heresy? What heretical witchcraft is this? That's why I just want to sit down. I want to get a couple of colours. I want to paint some test models and see if I can get these type of results when I come to do contrast painting. Because if I can, then it really is going to change the way I personally paint. It really is going to be massive. I'm really looking forward to using them. I really am looking forward to using them. If it goes the way which it looks like in the images like we've been looking at and stuff, and some of the stuff we see in the background. Now look at these Eldar. Look at these Eldar. If it turns out like something like that, obviously I'm not going to be painting Eldar. That's complete heresy. But if I'm getting these type of results, then I'm going to be making like 10 armies a month, just blasting through them all. It's gonna be so easy to just start painting stuff. And yeah, it's just something I just need to get my hands on first and just test it out. But the feedback that's got received from the event, like people I've seen on Twitter tweeting about it, because I never went to Warhammer Fest, so the people who I've spoke to about it, they said, yeah, it's amazing. It really is good. You have to try it out for yourself. You cannot believe it until you do it. So that's why I'm really looking forward to getting these paints on my desk. I'll probably do a live stream or something like that, and we can do it together to look at the paints, and I'll maybe just do a video of it, like recording it from like start to finish, painting and all that kind of stuff. But that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Tell me what you think about contrast paints. Are you looking forward to them? Are you like a painter who's just started out and, you know, this is a really big deal for you? Are you a more advanced painter that this doesn't interest you at all? Just let me know in the comment section what you're looking forward to, what do you dislike the most, and we can have a nice little healthy chat about it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you now, and bye-bye.